Alright, here's a map I drew of the old railroad trail and the series of locations along it. I wanted to include it in this video, but I also needed to draw a new map that would be more specific concerning a place called the Coach and 4 Motor Inn that is on Route 12 on the Troy and Marlboro line. And across the way from the Coach and 4 Motel is a street called Webb Depot. And Webb Depot takes you up to the old railroad trail. So at the top of the hill, the Webb Depot Road goes underneath a bridge that the old railroad trail runs along. So at the end of March of 2016, I was at that location, standing on the old railroad trail, on the bridge looking down at Webb Depot Road. So about 500 feet away from that location, I found 2 garbage bags filled with clothes. And they were soaking wet, but due to everything I've been seeing along this trail, I thought that they may be important, so I brought them home to take a closer look. So I don't know how long they've been sitting there. My guess is at least through the winter, because most of the clothes are in good shape. An animal had gotten into one of the bags and probably lived in it through the winter. And some insects had also gotten into it and began to chew holes into the clothes. So I had to throw out a few pieces of clothes that the animals and the insects had gotten to. And I washed and dried the rest that were in better shape because they were all soaking wet and I needed to store them. So while going to the bags, I found that all the clothes were clean and folded. And besides the ones that the animals had gotten to, they were all in pretty good shape. However, I noticed that the clothes smelled like a second-rate motel. I've stayed in a lot of motels in my life, and I'm sure that many of you have too. And some of the cheaper motels that don't cost too much money to stay in all have that old, dingy motel smell, which is like stale, secondhand cigarette smoke. So this person's clothes smelled exactly like an old motel. So at first glance, I did not know if the clothes belonged to a man or a woman. There were a lot of t-shirts with prints on them and quite a few collared shirts. There were also 2 pairs of cargo pants, one with a 32 waist and a 34 length, and the other with a 34 waist and a 32 length. And that is usually how men's clothes are sized. But then I saw that 2 of the t-shirts suggested that it was actually a woman's clothes. And one was a t-shirt that said, "Girls Cross Country and Track" in Keene, New Hampshire. And the other said, "Louisa May Alcott's Orchard House, Home of Little Women." And on the back it said 8th Annual Benefit. And it's a marathon thing, probably for women, because there is a woman's high heel boot. So that, along with the fact that most of the shirts were all sized medium and looked kind of small for a man, I guess that the clothes probably belonged to a woman. And judging by the way they smelled, I'd say she'd been staying in a second-rate motel for a while. So at some point, she brought her clothes in 2 garbage bags up Webb Depot Road and then onto the old railroad trail, where she left them there a little ways from the bridge. So as soon as you drive out on Webb Depot Road, you come to Route 12, and right there across the street is the Coach and 4 Motel. And it looks like a rundown piece of shit motel that would probably make your clothes smell if you had to stay there. So this person also had 2 shirts that said Dana-Farber Cancer Institute, that advertises itself on the internet as a cancer treatment and research center in Boston, Massachusetts. She also had a couple of t-shirts and a sweatshirt that all said Delaware. And also a t-shirt that said Yankees Siege, pumpkin chucking world champs from Greenfield, New Hampshire. And she had a t-shirt for the Yankees that has something written in Hebrew, and the label says that the shirt has been made in Israel. So I took photographs of all the clothes in hopes that someone may be able to identify this person who left their clothes out there. All the clothes look pretty cool and are in good shape. So I don't understand why they wouldn't go back and get them later if they had to drop them temporarily because they didn't want to carry them around or something. But judging by everything I've been finding along this trail, absolutely nothing has been good. So I decided to take a drive over to the Coach and 4 Motor Inn a week or 2 later, and my plan was to ask to see one of their rooms so I could see if the place smelled similar to the person's clothes that I found along the old railroad trail. So I drove over there and I met the manager of the Coach and 4 Motor Inn, who was from England and who acted very unusual in my opinion. So I will play that clip now. Hey, how you doing? You working today? You working today?
Can't hear you, sorry.
Are you working today?
Work every day.
Yeah? You got a room available?
Oh, no, we have nothing available.
No? When do you book up?
Well, we don't really rent by the day. We rent by the week.
By the week, huh? Because I have a couple of friends coming into town this July. And so I want to get rates on the rooms and stuff because they're going to need to stay here because I have a full house already.
Yeah.
What?
I won't be able to help you.
In July?
Yeah. I can't promise that we'd have a room because we rent, people can stay as long as they like.
Okay, well how much are your rooms per week?
They start at 175.
At 175?
Yeah.
And that's for 1 bedroom?
Yeah.
How many beds?
Just one.
Just one? 175 a week. All right, do you have a card or something I could get?
No, because we really don't rent like that.
All right, do you have a card or something I could get?
No, because we really don't rent like that.
Ah, I love your flags. Very international. Are you from England?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've had some long-term renters in there, I assume, huh?
Yeah.
And so you get along with everybody. They're going to be keepers. They're going to stay here and everything.
Up to that.
Yeah. So how often can I check in with you to see if I can get a room here? Never, ever?
Whenever you like.
Whenever I like. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm John. It's nice to meet you.
Peter.
Peter, I'm glad you're getting along with all your renters so well.
Yeah.
All right, man. Thank you for your time. Oh, and are you hiring? I seen an ad somewhere that says for drivers. Are you hiring?
For drivers.
Yeah. Can I get an application, sir?
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm sorry to interrupt you too.
Okay. Good luck. Why are you
I
filming
broke
this?
my camera. I'm not even filming. Look at that, Peter. Look at that. I broke the screen, sir.
How'd you do that?
I dropped it.
Oh.
And so I have my public service license when I drove an ambulance and everything
yeah?
like that. Are you going to need a public service license for this job too?
No, not for at the moment. We're in the process of fixing up a wheelchair van, so.
Oh, you are, huh?
that
Is
might
it a
help, yeah.
hydraulic lift or just a regular
Yeah.
full down lift?
Hydraulic.
Did you just buy it?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
And is that you too with that building next door that says valet parking?
Yeah, that's just a pretend sign, a fun sign.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I like your place here. You certainly have a lot of vehicles.
Yeah, they're all here at the moment.
And so what do you just provide people transportation to their medical appointments and
Yep.
stuff like that?
Yeah, we do a lot of that. Taxis, stuff like that.
Cool. All right, Peter. Thanks for your time.
Hey, take
All
care.
right. Take care, sir.